You casters.
Rest in peace.
We give you the water of all waters, the hydration fund. Just take a Sir9. You need it more than we do.
Yeah, if he's gonna be crying a lot, he's gonna be needing to stay hydrated. Of course, it can keep the tears going if you're not hydrated. But we're gonna be going into the final 10 qualifiers here finally. So gonna be seeing some crazy close competition from these guys. I'm really excited to be going into this one. Is there any players besides the likes of Mankalor that you think are gonna be able to compete in this one against him?
It's really difficult because he played such an amazing game. I mean, every race that he was in that he had won, he was so good about it that he ended up being able to back in to his wins. Well, that was him, if I'm not mistaken, or was that Lev?
That was VerteX.
That was VerteX.
Yeah.
That's right. So really, if I had to say it, it's going to be either Mankalor or VerteX. That's gonna be able to do it.
I think it's gonna be those two are gonna be competing for the top two pretty close throughout the entire 8 races now. So now we do have 8 races instead of the normal 6. So they have 2 more potential spots to drop a few points here and there. But obviously that is a potential for their opponents to get even more points. So you want to stay consistent throughout every single race. That's a hard thing to do, especially when there's stuff like item RNG and everything. It's really hard to stay consistent in games like this.
It really is. Well, speaking of consistency, we are actually finished off with our wildcards. Ladies and gentlemen, it's time to go ahead and bring our players through the hype tunnel right now into our final 10 here for Saturday Night Speedways. Let's go ahead and get some hype here in the eSports Arena. If you guys are here, thank you so much again for being here. As a reminder, we do have Friday frags every Friday, including some of our own players who are currently looking at us and trying to get us to look at them. I don't want to look at them right now. If you guys are ever here if you guys are locals, even international, we have Friday frags every Friday. That is our Fortnite tournament, where every time we have any of these major tournaments, it is $5 drafts and $8 cocktails at the bar. So if you guys are not getting any type of liquid in your hands that is made with water, remember 100% of people who drink water are wonderful people, go do that. That is a recommendation right now.
Yeah, so obviously we're seeing likes of Mankalor, Nev, Marshall, Zero, Glitchtastic, Young Lion, Ultima Gamer. A lot of these guys we've seen before, and a lot of names we are interested in seeing. A lot of Twitch chat hype for Nevinator, it seems like. So a lot of people are really rooting on Nevinator. So seeing if he's able to do anything against these guys and seeing if he's able to come up with a strategy that's able to take down even the best of the competition here in the eSports Arena.
It's interesting to see how chat is really just all over Nevinator when we've had just so many different names here on stage tonight that have just done a wonderful job of just making a name for themselves and then walking the walk and proving it. And again, by the way, Sir9, we love you, man. We're very sorry you didn't make the final 10. We miss you. You are #1 in our hearts. Drink some water, please. We need you to drink some water.
Yeah, and you saw Mankalor leading the charge right there. Going to be getting ready for the final 10. 8 races, so there's going to be a lot more action. We only saw Rainbow Road one time so far tonight, and we only saw one straight course one time throughout the entire races so
twice.
far.
Twice. We had one in Qualifier 2 and then one in the wildcards.
Oh, yeah, we had that Big Blue in one of them, right?
Exactly.
Qualifier 2, yeah. So we've had 2 so far, so maybe looking for one of those. There's a high potential to get one of them out of 8 races, and there's also high potential for Rainbow Road. So interested. Those are obviously some of my favorite maps to cast and to spectate as well. I think it's a lot of fun to see all that action coming in at the very end, and it's just fun seeing when there's really high competition, all of the action happens in lap number 3, and it all happens at the end. So there's not really a way we can say, oh, it looks like Mankalor has an easy first place right now, because he could get blue shelled, red shelled, and destroyed at the very end of a race, and that will bring him back down to like 3rd or 4th.
Yeah, absolutely. And guys, again, if you are inside the eSports Arena here, thank you so much again for being here for our Saturday Night Speed Days. We're obviously looking down at the stage because everybody's got all smiles. It's Mario Kart. You have to have a lot of fun, and this is the only place, I believe, in the history of any place where you can get the ability to drink and drive, and it's completely legal. So props to the people that are on stage right now.
Yeah, we have Aurora turn on the Icy. Unfortunately, he's in the stands. He's nowhere to be found on stage. So he's
Aurora's not even in the arena. I wish he was, but, you know, hey, maybe next week.
Yeah, I'm hoping really next week. But we're going to be interested to see exactly what's going to go on in these next few rounds here, next few races. Going to be some random maps as well. We've already talked about it previously. But if you are new, this will be the final 10. It'll be 8 races, and they're going to be random maps. So these players and the likes of us don't know exactly what's going to be going on with these next few races. So we're going to be seeing VerteX on your screen. He's getting ready, seeing Mankalor, seeing Nevinator, the Twitch chat favorite, it seems like so far. Seeing Zero in his Pingu onesie.
I love that onesie.
Going to be going for the
It's got to be hot in that onesie, though. Well, it's because he's always on fire during his races. I had to throw a pun out.
Yeah, I'm surprised. That was one of the first ones.
It was like the only one I've really done tonight. Maybe it's just because I've been fighting off a headache or something, and then food poisoning. You know, that's always bad too.
Yeah, fighting off, like everything. But now he's back. He's better than ever.
I'm all right. It's because I drank water. Twitch chat.
Stay hydrated, everybody, and we're going to be going into this one here shortly. Everyone is just getting ready. Very interested to see what's going on and to see, is there any players that you are really expecting to have a chance to maybe take the top 2 spots from the likes of Mankalor and a VerteX. I feel like those are pretty 2 solid spots right there. So I'm interested to see who you think might be able to come back and try and fight against those guys.
I think Ultimate Gamer really has a fair shot. Done a wonderful job of maintaining a lot of consistency in all of the races he's been in, and he is seriously just, I guess, one of the fun people to watch because he just knows the maps very well, and he's so consistent with using his items at the right time. So it's just very nice to see.
Yeah, and we are seeing VerteX. He said he wanted to use Isabel in honor of Sir 9, but he got cut off. So unfortunately wasn't able to switch to Isabel just at the end. Budget Sir 9 could be coming in. And
is Sir 9 still laying on the ground?
Probably.
I want to look. I can't see him, though. I'm looking around the arena trying to see if he was still curled up in a ball because we know that's where where he ended up in after his interview. So trying to see if he's still there right now.
I think he's up and moving. I think he has cried for a little bit, but he's got to be up and moving again. Obviously, we talked about the mental game. You can't just keep crying in a ball for hours on end after you end up winning the tournament. So he's going to be coming back for next week and try and get himself back in the top 10. You see Mankalor getting his hat ready. Unfortunately, doesn't quite work with a headset on, but he's still going to be trying to get that ready. He's going to be getting that, and unfortunately does fall down, but he doesn't need it.
Well, he can bring it up here. We can wear it while we're commentating. I mean, that's always a possibility too.
Every time he finishes first, he's just got to honk the horn and try and stiff up the competition. He's trying to get it to work. It's not exactly getting himself into a decent spot, but he's going to be going into the next next Final 10 round pretty confident. Obviously, we saw him dominate his first qualifier, and that was against some pretty stiff competition as well. So the fact that he's able to dominate it so well, and a few of those races have a pretty 5-6 second lead is pretty impressive. And to see him going in the Final 10 here, he's going to be confident. I'm interested to see exactly what he's going to be doing, see if he uses his sandbagging strategy again. Obviously, we've kind of spoiled it for everyone. That's what he does, so that's what he's known for as well. Yep. So he's going to be getting that out there. Seeing Nev on your screen, he's been racing him really well tonight as well. So he's going to be looking to be in a stiff competition for him as well.
I'm honestly thinking that we're not going to see a lot of sandbagging that's going to be happening in these races because they know that the other players are going to do the same. They're pretty much just going to take the race backwards at this point. That's how it's going to end up being. And by the way, hello everybody everybody that's sitting in the stands. You are wonderful. Thank you so much for being here again. You guys are wonderful. All hearts up for you. We love you to death. You guys are wonderful. And then, I really just don't think that we're going to have any sandbagging that's really going to be that detrimental because they know that at the end of the day, all of the players are going to try and do that. We might as well just do these races backwards because that's how it's going to end up being.
Yeah, because they're all just going to, none of them are going to end up boosting at the beginning. They're all just going to sit there and wait until they get in 10th place, and they're just going to keep sandbagging each other on the way back. Race is going to take half an hour just to get through one race because they're all going to be trying to sandbag, try to get those items. But probably not. We're probably going to see these players that are going off to a heavy start. Interested to see how many players decide to sandbag because that could also be something that could heavily affect that. We're seeing upward on your screen. He's got to hide his face. He obviously the first player in Saturday Night Speedway history to get negative points. So really impressive on that. And to see Icy unfortunately losing the coin flip and also losing upward, losing 2 upward and negative 100 points. That's just
he just did a dab. Did you see the dab? It was only half a dab because he didn't use the other arm. But hey, he had to bring back the old memes. It had to happen.
Of course, you have to get that on, especially if you're a Fortnite player.
It's about as old as this. Sorry, now his Fortnite stats. Yeah.
You have to get a signature toxicity move in there with the dab. So going to be seeing him hopefully next week. Going to be competing, but these players are going to be a really crazy. It's going to be a crazy competition going into this one. 8 races, so there's a lot of potential to mess up, a lot of potential to keep yourself in first place. We saw Glitchtastic was obviously able to get himself into a pretty decent spot through most of the wild card races. So interested to see if he's able to compete in the likes of the Final 10 as well. You were talking about Ultimate Gamer. You say he has a pretty decent chance at trying to fight against those guys. And we obviously saw Mankalor doing really well. We saw VerteX doing really well. So interested to see if anyone's able to take those spots from them and see exactly how these players are going to be going into this Final 10 here.
I got to give it to Guinness guy as well, man. He's been drinking the Guinness on stage. He's been drinking and driving every week and showing that he's always making it into the Final 10. And again, he's just got that super deep voice that you've never realized could actually come from him. So very excited to see if he's going to be able. He's looking at the camera right now. He's like, I know you're talking about me. I'm very excited to see him do a wonderful job. Again, the Guinness is his power. So he is staying hydrated with flavored water. That's a wonderful thing to see right now.
Yeah, we're going to be seeing him. He's getting ready. He's getting hydrated. Got to stay hydrated. Now he's getting off a little drunkenness. He's going to be trying to sober himself up, trying to not drink and drive in the Final 10. That is where he's got to get very focused. You got to be very laser focused in the Final 10. Going to be some crazy competition, obviously, he's going to be up against. So interested to see when that's going to be happening and when he's going to be going into this. A lot of heavyweights, actually, this week that we were talking about in previous weeks. We're like, yeah, we see 1 or 2 heavyweights, but they usually ended up getting first or second in a lot of the races. And we're like, seems like they're pretty good. And we're seeing a lot of the top level of competition. Glitchtastic using Boo. We have Mankalor using Wario. We have VerteX using Wario. We have Bowser, who was here a few weeks or last week, using Wario as well. So it seems like heavyweights are a very solid option to be going into this. And if you're not going to heavyweight, it seems like you are dropping yourself down a little bit just through the character selection.
Yep, and then we also have Sir 9, who is actually summoning his water bottle of shame. It is super effective. It's like Pokemon, where you just catch the water ball. I don't know. I'm just trying to throw in something. It's late at night, and we're just loving all the players that are on stage. Again, we're trying to get the final setup and ready to go right now. We're about almost ready. So it looks like the players are just getting set up. Absolutely, there we go. We're going to get started right now here. Returning back to Volcano Mountain here. That's what I call it. It's actually not the name of the map, but it's just a wonderful map anyways. And let's see if we have any burnouts that are going to be done. And it looks like everybody does make it through. It looks like Gannis Guy does not get his boost, so he's going to be starting off in 7th place right now. We're going to go over to Mankalor, currently fighting for first, holding onto a coin, grabbing no coins. That's actually a bad situation to do right now, Troy.
Yeah, missing out on that percentage speed is going to affect him a little bit here and there. Going to be drifting around a little bit. Unfortunately, missing items there as well, but going to be still in 2nd place here. Going to be right in front of him is Glitch-tastic, so he's going to be in a pretty decent spot moving out forward from this one. Glitch-tastic seems like he's in a pretty solid spot, but everything can change. We've talked about it every single time. There's items that are going to be changing throughout the rest of this map. Some players might hit the fires throughout the rest of the map as well. And we obviously are not seeing the sandbagging strategy coming in from Mankalor just yet, so maybe we might be seeing that in later races.
Yeah, I was actually not surprised that we had the sandbagging not be a factor here, because all of the players that are up there know that all of the other players have the potential to do the same thing, and it's just not worth the aggravation to have to try and do it and end up in a last place where you could potentially lose a lot of time, because, again, there's a lot of variables, and skill of other players is one of those things you have to be aware of. So sandbagging in this right now, just the way that it is, it's just not worth the aggravation.
Exactly, and we're going to be seeing these players going into a heated lap number 2 here. Going to be just kind of moving their way around. You see that green shell effectively hitting that Bowser on the way out. So seeing a lot of heavies going into this battle so far. It seems we have a couple Warios. We have the Boo coming in, and we have a few others. We have Dry Bowser, of course, from Young Lion. Going to be maneuvering their way around the course. Going to be seeing exactly what they might be able to do. Obviously, lap 2 doesn't really mean much. Lap 3 is when everything's really going to start kicking off. You're seeing a lot of these players just switch around in their positions. Seems like Mankalor is in a pretty solid spot for 1st place right now, but Glitch-tastic shortly coming in 2nd behind him, and maybe trying to take that one away from him. And it seems like Glitch-tastic ended up taking a little hit right there, so Mankalor is in a pretty sizable lead right now.
Mankalor just walking away with the competition again. We have seen him do this inside of his qualifier, and showing no signs of stopping. But if anybody can close the gap, it is Glitch-tastic, who again was our winner from last week's Saturday Night Speedway. So very excited to see if he's going to be doing that. We're going to look over here at our 3rd place player right now, moving into 2nd place here. I believe this is VerteX.
Yes, this is VerteX, getting himself in a pretty decent spot here. Getting a red shells right there is going to be really solid for him. But it looks like this will be a pretty easy finish for Mankalor, and we're going to be seeing VerteX shortly coming in 2nd. The 2 guys I was talking about that more likely to be 1st and 2nd, it did end up getting 1st and 2nd. So going to see if anyone's able to effectively knock him out in the next few races here.
Yeah, man, if you look at the player field, everybody is pretty much on the same pace to be in the same place at the same time. And that was something that I completely expected, especially moving into the final 8 races of the night. All of these players are so high-skilled moving into the final 10 that they're all going to be doing all the same things. And I really don't see the field of players really separating at any time. They're going to be against each other, battling for position. This is going to be an exciting final 10 right now.
For sure, yeah. I feel like 1st and 2nd was pretty dominant from the last lap right there, but it looked like everything was so close to each other, and all these players are going to be really close to each other. We saw the insane competition coming in just the wild card qualifier alone. So now that some of these best players are going into the final 10, it's going to be even more competition. Obviously, these players have to try and figure a way out of this one and try and figure out what their strategy might be going forward. Seeing if they're going to see any sandbagging coming from Mankalor. Didn't sandbag that race and still able to easily finish in 1st place. So Mankalor has a few strategies going for him, and they seem like it's working out pretty well for him.
Absolutely. Well, right now, looking over at Twitch chat while we get into the 2nd race here, looks like we have a bit of a battle between whether or not Friday Frags or Saturday Night Speedway is better. If you had to pick one, I'm not going to make you do that. They're just both wonderful things here at the eSports Arena, and I just enjoy commentating and just getting a chance to, again, sit with you, Troy, and be able to commentate all of the amazing games that we played now or as a kid. It's just a wonderful thing. I'm very glad that I'm able to cast it with you.
It's funny because I never in my life would have expected I'd be sitting here casting a Mario Kart tournament ever, but here we are, and here it is. It's actually pretty successful. We have the likes of Mankalor competing in it. We have Bowser, and Nintendo World Championship player, competing in it as well. So still getting some names here and seeing a lot of stiff competition from even other players like VerteX, like Ultimate Gamer, you see coming in 2nd right now. Going to be seeing these guys try and secure a 1st place spot, or obviously all going to be securing a cash prize at this point because they are in the final 10. So all of them are going to be in a pretty decent spot, but you do obviously want to finish in one of the higher tiers if you are looking for something nice coming in from this one. Going to be seeing Mankalor here in 3rd place, so Going to be seeing him pretty close to the rest of these players. Seeing if he starts sandbagging a little bit. We see one of the Warriors in 10th place right now. Wondering if that is Mankalor or not. Seeing if he might get able to sandbag and try and get his way up into first place again.
I feel like the Penguin onesie has given him so much power. He's maintained a top 5 here, I think, pretty much through almost every race that he's been in. I don't think he's ever dropped anything lower than 5th place here. And he's sitting pretty well, almost gets the player with his Piranha Plant. Is he going to be able to make it up here and try to grab another player? It does not, unfortunately. So he's going to have to be in a very unfortunate situation of recovering, now falling into 6th place. We're going to move over to Mankalor right now, sitting in 3rd. Does have a mushroom. He's going to be able to use it here on this turn. That's a very good position to be in because he's able to use that mushroom to go through the dirt and be able to secure himself. While that blue shell, spiny shell, whichever one you say, Twitch chat's going to get angry at me out of the way for whatever I choose anyways. He pulled back a little bit because he didn't want to get too close to that blue shell. He didn't want to get touched by it. That's going to be a major time loss because that blue shell runs through everything and anyone.
Yeah, you see him skipping the boost right there instead of just using his mushrooms to try and get that. But you see him end up hitting a fireball right there on lap 3. That's going to be detrimental to where his placement might be. And that, unfortunately, is just kind of a rookie mistake that he ends up getting hit by a fireball on this jump right there. So you're going to see Glitchtastic on your screen, getting himself into 6th place. Young Lion, again, this guy going to be in 4th place right now with the Dry Bowser. Going to be in a pretty decent spot. You see VerteX in a pretty solid spot, but unfortunately getting knocked all the way down to 3rd. You see just how close these top finishers are, and you see him drop all the way to 3rd from being in such a close 1st place spot. You see him putting his hands in his face. Kind of hurts to lose your 1st place spot that quickly right there.
Yeah, and that's going to definitely, I believe, push him down into 2nd place in the leaderboards. We're going to take a look at the leaderboards here very shortly as it keeps updating, and it'll show up on the screen for us. Again, we have some people that are currently sitting in the stands having a wonderful time watching some Mario Kart action. All smiles. It's all good. And I love the shirt, by the way. That was a Vegas Golden Knights American shirt. That was a very nice shirt to see.
Yeah, gotta love the Golden Knights, especially most people in Vegas weren't hockey fans until they came here, and then they had the underdog story of a lifetime almost winning the Stanley Cup. So just absolutely insane run from them. And see if anyone's going to make an insane run going into this one to see if we have.
You know the reason why. By the way, we're going to look over here and say hi
okay,
again.
So
There.
I was
you looked
like,
at the right camera this time.
I did.
Right?
I finally did. I was like, I'm normally going to go this way, but it's normally over there. And every time I look over here, he's never over there.
Well, now you did find it. So at least now. No, the reason why the Vegas Knights did so well is because they're skating on water.
Frozen water.
Frozen water. Water anyways in any state is still water, so that's all that matters. And we keep saying it. Hashtag stay hydrated in chat. Spam that until your fingers bleed. That is the way to go. Water is wonderful.
Upward. Everyone looks like a rookie when I play. He had a negative 100 points, and he's saying everyone looks like a rookie when he plays. I'm just throwing that out there. He really is confident with himself, thinks that he is the best player to ever compete in Saturday Speedways. I want to see what's going to happen next week when he's against other Friday Frags players, because I feel like just after one race, those guys are going to start throwing hands at each other and start trash-talking each other immediately. No, Aurora's obviously going to be plenty into that trash talk. He's going to be all for it.
Well, he in order for him to trash talk, though, he actually has to be here competing. True. So he cannot trash talk a competition and saying, "Oh, I'm going to be better," if he doesn't step up. You know, Sir Nine's step up or shut up. So we're definitely going to see whether or not he's going to be out here for Saturday Night Speedway. We know he will definitely be here for Friday Frags, but we're going to move into the next race here. This is the first time we have seen this map. There's a couple cool little secrets that a couple of our players might use. Again, we do not see any sandbagging that's going on because it's going to be a waste of time at this point. You're wasting time because these players are too high skilled. They'll know how to take advantage of that.
Yeah, so we're going to be seeing Mankalor coming in on your screen right now. Going to be in 4th place currently. Going to get an item box from this one, see exactly what it gets. Only gets a green shell. We'll use it defensively instead of offensively right there. Dropping a lot right there, hitting a lot of obstacles in his way. So he's going to drop to 6th place, it seems. Glitchtastic, unfortunately, getting hit right as he hits that edge. So dropping all the way down to 6th place as well. And Young Lion going to be coming in 3rd place right now, trying to get past these thwomps. Going to be making sure he doesn't get hit by those. Would be a pretty crucial mistake if you were to get in one of those. Going to be unfortunately getting hit on his way down and make him fall down. He goes from 2nd to a 3rd place spot, which is actually not too bad. It doesn't end up losing too much ranking right there, but you can see just how close they are on the map right now.
I did not expect anything different. This is such a crazy Final 10 here. And again, there's going to be 8 races, and apparently all of these races are going to be just like this here. And by the way, I really feel like Mankalor's through the movement where he ended up hitting the wall and falling. What's happening right now is either he's being targeted, kind of like Sir Nine has been over the last few weeks, where they tend to target the player that they know could potentially win, or he's doing it on purpose because of the fact that he wants to be able to move himself and maneuver himself down a little bit in the ranks so he can item manipulate and get the items he needs to put himself in 1st place.
Yeah, we're going to be seeing the Navigator coming on the screen now in a solid 2nd place. in lap number 2 of 3 so far. So he's going to be training a little shortcut on the left-hand side. You see VerteX using that same shortcut as well. Obviously to get that little speed boost from the jump, barely getting past that banana there as well. Going to be taking a quick drift shortcut here as well. So VerteX making sure he uses everything in his path to try and get back up into that first place spot he's been gunning for. You see Ultima on the screen in 6th place right now out of 10th. This looks like Glitch Classic dropped all the way down to 10th, so he's going to be in a pretty bad spot. You see Young Lion in 9th place as well. Ultima just trying to avoid the swamps on the way out. Unfortunately getting hit by a red shell. You're seeing a blue shell coming in the last race as well, or last lap as well. So that's going to be affecting that player in first. Going to be seeing the Royal player in second, but it looks like he wasn't affected by that. Does finally get hit, and that will be changing everything up. Mankalor zooming his way into first place, and he will secure that spot just from that.
Unless there's a lightning, which always ends up happening on the last lap. I don't know how that works, but somebody always times their lightning at the right moment to where, or any instance, it could be a blue shell or a spiny shell or a red shell or anything. It's always at that last lap, right at the end of the finish line, where all of the items go out at the last second, and you'll go from 1st to 7th just that quick.
Call out the blue shell baby rages in chat. I understand. I called the blue shell out. It affected, and Mankalor actually got first place from it.
We never get any type of leniency. I asked chat if blue shell was okay. They said it was fine. And then we said spiny shell, and they're like, it's a blue shell. Just call it a blue shell. Can you just, like, pick a chat right now, spiny shell or blue shell in chat, so we know for future reference which one do you want us to use? Please let us know.
I'm going to say blue shell.
I'm going to say blue shell. I'm going to say it anyways, but, like, I'm going to make them say blue shell.
Yeah, we're seeing a 0 coming in 2nd place in that match, and we saw Mankalor obviously edging his way out into first, so he barely got by with that one. That blue shell obviously at the end of that match going to knock him from 2nd place to 1st place, so very solid for him, and he's going to be going into this next race feeling pretty confident. Seeing the crowd here always going to be happy and excited going into the next few races here. Going to be the final 10, so going to be the last races we're going to be seeing shortly, so going to be exciting. Going to be in the 4th race, so we are halfway through as of right now. Going to be some very close races. Mankalor seems like he has a pretty solid lead going into this one. So going to be seeing if anyone's going to be able to take that away from him.
And for the first time, we actually did see one of our players actually sandbag, where they did pull back quite a bit, might I add. I think it was the longest one that we've seen. It's about as bad as Twitch chat trying to say, use spiny or blue. Apparently, confirmation we have to use purple from now on, because somebody did put purple in there. I'm just going to call it blue because that's what we do. Going to keep on taking a look here. Looks like Guinness guy not doing too bad. Coming into 4th place here, trying to take 2nd, actually. He does move into 3rd, so he is doing a great job about using those mushrooms at the right moment. He does manage to get a couple good speed boosts and utilizing the map very well. And we're going to move over here to one of our players here in a second. Going to use it. Is he going to be able to take first? He is not. Looks like VerteX currently sitting in first, showing no signs of stopping. And it looks like, again, this guy out of desperation, throwing a ton of fireballs and basically not hitting anybody. He didn't get any positions off of that. That was pretty much a waste of some fireballs.
Yeah, he was just hoping and praying at one point those would bounce off the wall and hit somebody. Seeing that these players barely dodging that train on the bottom, so they're going to swing right by that one. Seeing VerteX with a very solid lead going into lap number 2 so far. He's going to have a sizable distance between his 2nd player and a nice little hit from there. The side right there, Nevinator coming into 3rd. Mankalor looks like he's in about 6th place right now. Going to get a bullet pill right here though, so he's going to be zooming himself in. And the bullet pill in the lightning timing will launch Mankalor into a 2nd place spot right now, right behind VerteX. And it seems like these players are getting really close to each other, and the top 3 is going to be really close. Mankalor getting the star as well, so he seemed to be sandbagging a little bit there, saved the bullet bill, and got a star, and he launched himself into 1st place from that.
Again, that's the item manipulation that we're beginning to see. People are going to try and take advantage of any placements and map areas that they have, because everything falls down to where you are on the map and what items you're using at that right moment. So it looks like he's been doing a wonderful job of manipulating his items to the best he can to be able to get his best position. And right now it is just a major battle with everybody. We literally have maybe like 3 or 4 seconds between 1st and 5th place. So it really is anybody's race right now to win.
Yeah, the Mankalor doesn't really have a solid 1st place. You see Glitchtastic coming in from 10th last round, getting into 1st place, I believe, at the very edge of that map. So we see him edging that one out. You see how close the top 3 are. Glitchtastic, anyone taking that one right in the hands of Mankalor at the very end. And that was just a photo finish between all 3 players. 2nd place going to Mankalor, 3rd place going to VerteX. But insane comeback coming in for Glitchtastic right there.
Yeah, trying to show that level of I want it like I won last week. He obviously won Saturday Night Speedways last week and showing no signs of giving it up. He wants to be a 2-time reigning champion. Kind of like our boy Aurora in chat for Friday Frags. And Megalomaniac, again, I want to see all of the Friday Frags players come in and make a qualifier here for Saturday Night Speedways. That would be so awesome.
Yeah, it would be a lot of fun to watch these players, but we're going to be going into the final 10 and race number 5 here. Obviously, we are halfway through through this final 10 so far. Mankalor been in first and second for most of these races so far, so he's in a pretty solid spot point-wise to try and get himself in the top spot. Here is your final 10 leaderboards so far halfway into it. Mankalor with a 10-point lead in first place. Glitchtastic with that one pulling himself into second. VerteX in third. Marshall in fourth. And Zero coming in fifth. So you just see it's really close between these top 5 in general. Kyret coming in 6th place. Jotaro coming in 6th. Ultima in 7th. Nevinator unfortunately coming in 8th and or 9th. And Young Lion getting himself back into 10th place here.
Yeah, we're going to go right now into the next race here. A wonderful map here. This is going to be a very interesting one. It looks like we had one person, again, looks like Marshall, doing another sandbag. And I guess he's doing it because he thought it would work out. But looking at what his placement was, he got 5th place in the last round, or the last race, excuse me, just because of the fact that sandbagging wastes so much time. It looks like he's still doing it. It looks like the map had a lot of time to take up. If you look at the mini-map on the right side of the screen, he is the Koopa that is in the far back, and he is so far behind that I'm not sure if item manipulation right now at that point is really worth it.
Yeah, he did knock himself down a pretty big ways, and obviously doing that right in the first lap won't do you too well unless you save the items for a decent amount of time and try and get your way up slowly and then use those items later on in the laps, which is what we've been seeing the Mankalor do so effectively. Obviously what got him into a 2nd place finish last round was the item manipulation with the bullet bill into the star just boosted him from like 8th place to 1st place or 2nd place. So he put himself in a very solid spot. Nice little cut there from Nevinator. Going to be hit by the red shell, unfortunately. Anyways, VerteX in a pretty nice spot here in 1st place, but you see there's competition closely behind him, and none of these racers are going to be secure in their spots until that finish line is fully passed on their lap number 3.
Yep, anything that happens in the first place, that first place player could easily drop into 5th or 6th right now. So holding onto those items, being defensive at this point right now, leading into lap number 3, is the smartest thing that these players are going to be able to do, because lap 3 is where it all comes out, literally in aggression and item usage. So I'm very excited to see if whether or not Glitchtastic, excuse me, is going to be using all of these items to his advantage here in lap number 3. He's not using them right now because it's a waste of time. Lap number 2 is more of that setting yourself up for lap number 3. And right now, it looks like we're going to be moving into it. And it looks like our boy Roy, which I believe is VerteX again, currently sitting in 2nd place here behind, I believe, I'm not sure who is in first right now. Who is it?
Yeah, Glitchtastic.
Is it Glitchtastic? Yeah. There you go. So, but right now, any item that does hit Glitchtastic and he doesn't have any defensive item, he can easily drop from 1st all the way down to 6th within a matter of a second. So he's got to be very, very careful that he is making sure he has some type of defensive item, otherwise he can lose all of that placement.
Yeah, and you see VerteX barely inching his way out in that one. Nice little throw right there from Guinness Guy, but he ends up being a little complacent about that one because he does end up getting hit himself. So seen a lot of these players getting hit and knocked around. Seems like that was Mankalor there in 8th or 9th place. So going to be some solid. It looks like 1st and 3rd is pretty solidified at this point, but the rest of those placements seem to be pretty close. You see the blue shell here at the very end. Doesn't look like it's going to be affecting any of these players quite just yet. Seems like it'll hit Glitchtastic at the very end. I think he might have already finished the race, but you see Glitchtastic getting knocked down a little bit there. But 1st place coming in for VerteX, I believe. So pretty solid finish. And Guinness Guy, unfortunately, getting 10th right there. Going to be solidifying that 10th place spot again.
He's definitely feeling a lot of things. He knows he's at this point, he just wants to get his Guinness and just call it a night. He knows he's been having a lot of fun still. Either way, he is going to get a payout again. All of our players right now that are in the top 10 are going to be receiving that payout. And there is Mark. Thank you so much again, Mark, for everything that you do. Thank you so much for giving us the ability to cast and have Mario Kart as a beautiful game for us to be able to commentate on a Saturday night. There is nothing else that I would rather do except for commentating Mario Kart tonight, honestly.
Absolutely. On a Saturday night, what else could you be doing in Las Vegas? Not too much.
Homework.
Yeah.
You know that very well. Homework,
yeah,
man.
Definitely. That's for Sunday nights when everything's due at midnight. But
you're those people, huh?
Oh, absolutely. 100%. I'm one of those people. We're going to be seeing these players going into their 6th race as of right now. Shevsky showing up in chat, one of my favorite people here at the arena. Going to be showing up some love to him, of course.
Does Shevsky drink water?
I hope so. He better be drinking water. He better be staying hydrated. That isn't one of the key things to move on in life.
Yes, if you are in Twitch chat, you must be drinking water at all times.
And we're going to be going into the 6th race, so this could be a pretty close race as of so far. Mankalor had a 10-point lead going into that race, so he's going to be in a pretty sizable lead for the rest of the match, but there's always room for other players to improve on that. Glitchtastic obviously was an opportunity to do that. You see Marshall, a quick little update, Marshall like sandbags himself, but Mankalor sandbags himself even farther behind so that he ends up getting that 10th place item. So both these players are using that as strategy, and very interesting to see. And we were talking about it earlier, how many players would end up using the sandbagging strategy, and now we see Marshall's pretty much doing it every race now.
It's just not worth it, though. I mean, if you did see the item that he did get a chance to receive after sandbagging, it was a mushroom. And that was one of the items that you can get literally in 1st to 5th place as well. So again, you're wasting time by sandbagging. That's just not something I would recommend here. Moving into lap number 2 right now, Glitchtastic holding on to 2nd place here, but again, it's anybody's race. He just barely passed the lap, and we have our 7th place player currently passing right here within a second. So anything that happens to Glitchtastic right now, he'll be losing 5 potential spots, going all the way down to potentially 8th place. There's no room for error here. First off, I would not recommend sandbagging. And number 2, hold your defensive items. And also, another thing that was happening that I did see a couple of our players do is they were bump drafting, where they would bump into into another player while they were in the middle of a drift, and it forces both players to do a sharp 360 and gives them a boost in speed. It's the same thing that would happen if you did hit a bumper, but we don't really see that very much because you don't want to give another player any advantage, so bump drafting is pretty much something you don't want to be seeing anytime.
Yeah, it seems like you definitely don't want to be giving your opponent an advantage at any point in the race, but it looks like the top 3 are going to be the normal 3 we've been seeing so far. You got VerteX, you got Mankalor, and you have Glitchtastic securing their spots so far. Obviously going into the last little slim bit of this race here, so going to be seeing exactly if VerteX is able to hold that. You obviously saw a defensive item come right there, and that would have destroyed his race. If he didn't have that defensive banana right there, he would have fallen, he would have been hit by the banana, and would have dropped to a very sizable lead. But you're seeing him and Mankalor competing pretty closely here, and their competition is pretty far behind him. So Mankalor still getting hit by Red Shell here, unfortunately not getting that defensive item, and you're seeing the bomb coming in from VerteX, trying to get himself to a pretty sizable lead. VerteX going to be solidifying that 1st place spot. Mankalor coming in 2nd. The blue shell coming at the very end, just going to be kind of sliding its way out, hitting VerteX still.
I'm very excited to see the leaderboards as it keeps on shifting right now. But again, VerteX and Mankalor showing no signs of letting go here. If I'm not mistaken, both of them are from Ohio. I believe they both flew out here for the event, and it's something that we do weekly. So again, their airfare prices are going to be expensive every month.
It's actually pretty cheap to fly to Las Vegas. Surprisingly, a lot of people would think that it's not cheap to fly to a place like Las Vegas, but it is pretty cheap because you end up losing a lot of your money here anyways, so they make this flight cheap.
Or win it by winning a Mario Kart tournament as well. So, I mean, anything is definitely possible.
You would never expect people to come into a casino to spend their money on a Mario Kart tournament instead of gambling, and they were going to win more money on a Mario Kart tournament than they would gambling.
Isn't that just awesome? That means that means if anybody is inside Las Vegas, I doubt they're listening right now, just come to the eSports Arena, get a $5 draft or $8 cocktail from the bar, sit down, have some Mario Kart fun, drink and drive, and win some money.
Drink and drive. We say that repeatedly every week.
Don't drink and drive. Disclaimer, do not drink and drive in real life. Okay? It's Mario Kart. Just putting that disclaimer out there.
Only in Mario Kart. We have to put that disclaimer out there. We do not support regular.
There's Sir Nye with his water bottle of shame that he was talking about, drinking it. I bet that
Those
tastes.
Are tears.
I had the tears. I got you.
100%. Those are tears. That's not.
Yeah, it's his own tears. So it's the gift that keeps on giving. I see that now. Okay, well there we go. We are going to go over to Big Blue right now. It's going to be one of our races that is going to be One Direction only. And we're not talking about the band. This is way better. So we are going to move over to Mankalor, who's currently sitting now in 1st place. But again, we're going to look at the leaderboard. He is currently only ahead by 5 points away from VerteX. Glitchtastic down by another 7 points. So the question is, who's going to be walking away? Marshall in 4th. Kai Red, by the way, your sister says hi again, in 5th place. And then our 6th to 10th place, we're going to look at that right now. We have Zero, Ultimate Gamer, Nevinator, who is a fan favorite in Twitch chat, Jogard, and then Young Lion. So that's going to be very interesting to see who's going to walk away as our victor tonight.
And you saw the top 3, the point difference between the 3. After that was like 12 points or so from 3rd to 4th place. So these top 3 are in pretty solid spots to try and keep that top 3 going. Obviously, in one of the last 2 races here, so there is a little bit that could change, but Mankalor would really have to mess up to try and lose one of those top 2 spots. And this point, obviously, he's still racing very well and still has a decent strategy going into this one. Seeing the boo coming out from Ultimate Gamer. Going to be trying to get another decent item here. Gets a star in 2nd place and a foghorn. So he doesn't have to worry about that blue shell at all. That will be going to hit Mankalor. See if he has any way to get around that. It seems like that will be hitting him. So Mankalor's going to take a bit of damage right there. Seeing him drop a little bit of coins here and there. Still has 10 though, so nothing to worry about too much right there. Going to be in a pretty solid spot to try and keep that 1st place going into the last lap. Or last quote-unquote lap of Big Blue. So we're going to be seeing some fireballs coming out from these players. Going to be seeing Nevinator on the shrink gun in 2nd. Unfortunately, hitting the banana as well. Not able to get that shortcut as fast as he wanted. And you're seeing him, Marshall, quickly taking that spot away from him. Mankalor still able to edge that one out and get 1st place there.
Well, there we go. That's going to be our top 2 right now. We have Mankalor and Marshall. Very happy with this placement here. It looks like Mankalor trying to walk away with it. I think Mankalor is going to end up winning tonight.
Yeah, Mankalor has an insanely solid lead at this point. He has 9 points above VerteX, so he would need to drop in the 9th or 10th spot in this last race and VerteX would have to finish 1st. In order for VerteX to take this 1st place spot, I'm not saying that can't happen. I'd absolutely love to see that happen. But like something like yesterday we saw with the Friday Frags tournament, we never thought Aurora would be taking over. Megalo ended up dropping 23 kills in game. So it just, you know, in the last part of everything could change quickly. So even still having a 9-point lead it's a really solid lead, obviously. So Mankalor is in the first or second place spot no matter what in this point. So he's going to be happy moving on with that one, and going to be moving on with the rest of the races here. But this will be the last race for the final 10. Get some hype in the chat. Get some hype in the arena. We are going into the last race, and there's going to be some crazy racing. VerteX, obviously, on your screen, has a chance to take it all away. He's going to be sweating a little bit here. He's going to be shaking his head, but he knows he's been racing pretty well. Obviously, I think he got like a 3rd or 4th place spot in that last round, so he's looking for a better finish in this race and trying to get that first. He needs that first, and he needs Mankalor to kind of drop a little bit here.
If I had to make a prediction on this last race here at Saturday Night Speedway, this is going to be our 8th race in Final 10. I had to predict right now that I believe all of the players are going to be tagging Mankalor as much as possible, trying to keep him as down and far back in the ranks as possible while they try to take everything else. We're going to look over here to Guinness Guy right now, currently sitting in 7th, and then Glitchtastic sitting in 4th. I really think that Mankalor is at a very serious disadvantage right now, especially in the last race, because they know if he does not end up in a 9th or 10th situation like you had just said about, he could walk away with the victory right now and that top prize. So if anybody wants it, VerteX especially, especially right now, he is just very unhappy with what's been going on. You can definitely tell he is a very passionate person. He just got hit again. Oh, that is very unfortunate. We're going to look over a 3rd place player right now, battling for 2nd place here. In 1st place, 2nd place, and 3rd place, barely holding on to each other. This is a very tight last race.
Yeah, obviously he has a bit of time to try and get himself back into the race. Only lap 1, so he still has 2 more laps to worry about. And you see this player on your screen get a little confused by the banana hit on your screen. He's going to be a little upset about that one, but still got to keep going and still got to try and finish this race out to your best ability. Still have 2 more laps, so there is a bunch that could change in the end of this one. Just in the top right, you have Mankalor on your screen in a pretty solid advantage right now in 1st place. Going to be seeing Marshall sandbagging again in a pretty bad last place spot here. Even with some good items, he put himself in a pretty bad spot here, and he would need something pretty solid to get himself forward and to try and compete for those top 3 spots.
And it looks like we're going to go over here to, I believe this is 0 again, if I'm not mistaken here. Holding on to 2nd place, not doing a bad job of holding on to things. Now leading into the final lap of Saturday Night Speedway here at the eSports Arena. Let's get it hyped up. It looks like VerteX now trying to come up here and gets hit by a green shell out of nowhere, and that is going to be very unfortunate. 0 holding on to 2nd place, best he possibly can. And it looks like Mankalor doing a great job of holding on to 1st in the meantime. But the question is he going to be able to do it? The red shell coming out does not get tapped by the red shell. That is a very interesting note. So it looks like he might be walking away, and he does have a sound horn, so that's going to be very interesting here as well.
Yeah, that sound horn probably is going to solidify his 1st place finish for the rest of this map, and that will mean it will solidify a 1st place finish for the entire tournament at this point. Mankalor obviously wasn't expecting anything less going into this. He wanted to get that 1st place spot since it came in, but you also know VerteX was talking. He said he's going to win everything, so at this point he needs VerteX to, or Mankalor to mess that one up, but he does finish in 1st place. 0 coming in 2nd at the end of that one, and just some solid racing coming out from everybody in general. Mankalor going to be pretty solidly winning this Saturday Speedway.
Yeah, pretty certain he just went ahead and took the 1st place in Saturday Night Speedway here at the eSports Arena Las Vegas. Congratulations to Mankalor, not only for having a wonderful and successful Mario Kart YouTube channel, but also doing a great job of showing his skills here inside the arena tonight. So congratulations again to Mankalor. A wonderful job tonight.
They say Mankalor won the tournament, but Nev won our hearts. So Twitch chat still obviously rooting for Nev in this one. But just some crazy close races. I was talking about at the beginning of the Final 10. I knew it was going to be Mankalor and VerteX. Those are going to be the 2 players you're going to watch just because of how well they did in the qualifying rounds. You saw how just advanced they were and how competitive they were in their play, just showing their little extra step and the extra motivation and practice they put into Mario Kart, showing that off. Obviously working out very well for Mankalor. He's going to be taking that 1st place pretty solidly here.
Yeah, let's go ahead and take a look at the replays right now for our Final 10. I think this has been the most active that we've ever had here at the arena. And I think the biggest thing that's been happening that nobody expected was that items really played a huge factor. Last week it was really more of just using the map to your advantage and doing all of that. And then, I don't know, it felt like the items really just played a more significant factor. And blue shells did a lot more as well, too.
Blue shells ended up getting it feels like blue shells came in too late in a lot of these races. Like, it seems like we saw blue shell right as players were finishing, and instead of like throughout the rounds. And you saw whenever you get hit by an item and you end up falling into like a pit like that, that will lose you a few seconds, so it's a lot of time to lose. But the blue shells, yeah, did come into effect a lot of the time in this round, or in this entire qualifier, or this entire Final 10. But it just didn't seem like it was too effective in a lot of these. So we're going to be just finishing these replays up, and we're going to be seeing the leaderboard for the Saturday Night Speedway's Final 10. Mankalor obviously taking that 1st place spot. He's going to be happy with that one. And VerteX coming in 2nd. Glitchtastic, our reigning champion, coming in 3rd place. Marshall closely behind in 4th. Kyrette in 5th. Zero coming in 6th. Ultima coming in 7th. Nevinator unfortunately coming in 8th. Jodora in 9th. And Young Lion Guinness Guy drinking and driving coming in 10th. Obviously not solidifying a decent spot there, but he's still happy. He's still going out with a smile.
Well, very happy to say that all of our top 10 players did a wonderful job ending up getting some form of a payout, and they all drank water. So again, Twitch chat and everybody that's watching at home, water is your life. Thank you so much for watching, guys. We are going to be looking at the leaderboards. If you had to pick your VIP for the night, which one would you choose?
VIP? MVP?
Yep.
The MVP I'd probably choose would be VerteX. I mean, Mankalor, obviously, we were already expecting him to pretty much dominate competition. I felt like he was for sure the #1 player going into this one, and because of his background, he was already pretty much a competitive Mario Kart player, we knew he was going to be going in this one firing. But VerteX, I feel like, really showed off his skill today and really was very, very close in trying to beat Mankalor in his score.
Right.
Having an 84 out of 8 races is obviously pretty insane. That's over 10 points for every round. So he's gotten a 1st, or 2nd, or 3rd in pretty much every single race. So Mankalor are doing very well today, but VerteX got to be my MVP today.
You know, I definitely got to agree. With that being said, we're going to go ahead and take it over to Jordan, who is currently down with our winner on stage right now.
Hey guys, so I'm here with our winner, Mankalor. Hi, dude, how are you feeling?
Feeling really good right now.
And so I did some sleuthing, and you have 93,000 subscribers on your YouTube channel. Is this completely dedicated to Mario Kart?
Yeah, for the most part, Mario Kart and a little bit of other Nintendo stuff, but yeah, mostly Mario Kart.
So are you going to be saying good things about us on your channel, or what?
No, I really enjoyed the experience. It's amazing. There's an online scene for competitive Mario Kart, but very little in the way of IRL stuff. This is the biggest event I've ever seen for this.
And so you came to Vegas specifically from Ohio to compete in our tournament, right?
Yep.
Yay! Are you going to do anything else while you're in town now that the tournament's over and you're our winner?
Probably some restaurants, maybe a casino. Test my Mario Kart luck there.
Oh, yeah, I mean, it could be strategy to that. I don't know the slots. You could try.
Sandbagging on casinos.
And so I noticed, during the tournament, you were slowing down a little bit. Was that to get items, or did you have any specific strategy for that?
I tried to stay in the lead as much as I can, but sometimes I got stopped at the very beginning, so then I had to stay back and get the power items to catch up.
Makes sense. Well, thank you so much for coming to our tournament and to Las Vegas specifically to see us. We have loved having you here. I love your hat. Can I do it again?
Sure.
Yes! Yeah. Okay, thank you so much, dude, and have an awesome time in Vegas, okay?
Alrighty.
Thanks, guys. Back to you guys.
Gonna be your champion, or Saturday Night Speedway champion. It's gonna be Mankalor. We expected it coming in this one. Played absolutely outstanding. Obviously, having that hat seems like it was a lucky hat for him. Played very well, and just really excited for him.
And with that being said, ladies and gentlemen, that is actually going to be it here for us at the eSports Arena. I am very happy to be able to cast the Detroit, ladies and gentlemen, at the eSports Arena. My name is Jacob Parker, and as always, I have Troy Welling next to me. Thank you so much for coming in. Have a great night.
Place in his qualifying round.